Hi everyone. So it's 1 o'clock in nighttime. I just wanted to talk to you a bit about all this fasting. It's the last day today. Tomorrow the goal was to stay till Sunday, which is today, and tomorrow, where is Monday, which is basically tomorrow now, but to start eating again. So I want to tell you a few things that happened. I'm going to try to make this quick because there's a lot of stuff I want to say. First things first, last night I derailed subconsciously. So what happened, we went with this friend, we went to this cafe, he had a club sandwich, I had my water, that was fine. And then we decided to walk to this fair. We've got this fair, it's called Cataclysmos, which is a water kind of thing. It's basically the story with Noah's Ark, big flood from God Almighty, and he needs to build a big boat and put in the animals so they can get some orgies done and get some babies to survive after the flood. So all this stuff is celebrated, and it's a bank holiday tomorrow in Cyprus. Fascinating. Anyway, so they have a big fair in Cyprus for that. So we decided it was like 12 in the evening, and we decided to go walk and see what's going on. A few of the stands were already closed. A few of them were just closing down, and there were just a few that were open. It wasn't that big anyway. So we decided to walk there. We walked, and there was this stand that these guys had nuts and dried fruit and some other traditional products, let's say. And this thing caught my eye. It was like a fluorescent green thing. It was dried something. So it looked like it was like in stripes, and it looked like, I don't know, bell peppers. I thought it was bell pepper that it was dried. I'm like, I go close and I say, what is that? And he tells me it's pomelo. So if you search for pomelo, you will see what it is, yeah? So he said, it's pomelo, try it. And subconsciously, I pick up a bit and I bite it. It was just a very small bit, but I bit it. And it was so fucking sweet. It was so sweet. But they put sugar in this shit, yeah? So that was normal for me to feel that it's so sweet. I do feel I have a bit. I've always had a very good sense of smell and taste, but it's slightly better now. Slightly better, not much. So anyway, that happened last night. Of course, I didn't eat the next of it. I was very, very disappointed when this happened. I was devastated. I was like, what the... But I think this is because I'm not giving so much effort in this. This is effortless for me. I'm not really trying that much. It feels easy for me. It's not a big deal. Anyway, I want to mention that. And then this incident made me think, like, this is a detoxifying thing. But it is a detoxifying thing. But apart from what you put inside you, in your mouth, what you drink and what you eat, there are other factors, like what other things come in contact with you, because you absorb things from your skin as well. So I wanted to mention the things I've been using during the fast, like deodorant. I haven't used it a lot actually in the fast. I've only used it once. It's a general brand one, like an Axe or something like that. I saw someone when they were talking, they said that it shouldn't contain aluminium. And I've checked that and it doesn't seem to say anything on the label. It's an Axe product. A friend of mine told me that they do have aluminium, but it doesn't say anything on the label, so it's not there. Anyway, I only used it once. The other thing I'm using is toothpaste and a mouthwash, which is just normal stuff. The other thing is that when I went to the beach a couple of times, I've used a really good brand of what do you call this? Sunscreen. It's a Swiss one. It's not the one you get from the supermarket or a kiosk or something like that. This was actually recommended by dermatologist. It's a Swiss brand, Ultrasun or something like that. So it's quite a good one. It's not some shitty thing from. The other thing I've used was an After Sun lotion from Vichy, which is also quite a general brand. I'm sure they've got some kind of toxins and stuff like that, but this is stuff I haven't used all the time and during the whole thing, like a couple of days, if. The other thing is soap, because I wash my hands with soap. I prefer bar soaps instead of liquid soaps. Don't know why, I just like them more. But I also did use some liquid soap in cafes and stuff like that, which is things you can't avoid, which might have toxins, which probably do have toxins. But on the other hand, you have toxins everywhere, like car emissions and I don't know what else is in the atmosphere and all that. So you can't avoid everything. Nevertheless, I do feel that this was quite beneficial for me, and I'm impressed that I lasted that long without giving it so much effort. Water, the water I drink. I don't drink tap water. I drank bottled water wherever I went, and at home I have this device that filters. It takes tap water and filters it out. I'm gonna show it to you. It's here. It's called Strauss. It's Strauss water, the brand. See, it's the one. Yeah, Strauss. Whatever. If you wanna look into it. So basically, it does warm water and also has cold water all the time. So it's very good for where I am in Cyprus, let's say, because I need cold water quite often and warm for coffees and stuff. Although I'm not a big coffee person. Anyway, so I'm probably gonna break the fast tomorrow. I've seen a lot of people breaking the fast with fruits, which I don't think it's a good idea unless you're a fruitarian or a vegan or a raw foodist. I will actually do it. I'm thinking tomorrow morning when I know it's a bank holiday tomorrow in Cyprus, but I'm going to work because I work with a British company. Anyway, I'm thinking to break the fast with a bulletproof coffee, which basically is good coffee, filtered, like 100% Arabica beans. So I'm thinking to make like a filtered coffee with Arabica beans and put some grass-fed butter in it. I'm going to try and find some MCT oil in the morning as I'm going to work. If I don't, I'm not going to use it. But if I find, I'll add some of it there. And also the next bit would be vegetable soup. So basically, the fat will kick in a few, like, your brain needs fat to work. Although I don't feel, I've got very good mental clarity. I don't have any problem with that. The only thing was that I was very bored. Bored is a feeling, I don't know. And today I was a bit weaker, although I went to the mall and walked around all day and all that. I was okay. I was just like a bit weaker. I wasn't in the mood. Can say that maybe I wasn't weaker because I felt I had still strength. I didn't do the workout because I was bored. But we've done other stuff. I've carried a few stuff as well today from shopping and all that. But basically the feeling is bored. So tomorrow the next bit would be the vegetable soup. I'm gonna have vegetable soup. I don't want to take it longer, although I think the detoxifying kind of the intense detoxifying is gonna start now, after the 7 days, because your body just had a lot of reserves and it just got rid of everything. So now it would start to heal and all that. I've seen some changes with my skin, like it's trying to do something. I don't know what. I can see some wounds trying to heal. I've got a couple of others, but I've seen my skin change. I've noticed it doing things. I can't really pinpoint on what it's doing or something, but I've noticed like changes. It's trying to change stuff in a good way. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna have the veggie soup and we'll see how it goes from there. This wasn't a very long fast, really, considering what other guys are doing, so I don't expect my stomach to be ultra sensitive. And if the veggie soup goes well tomorrow, the next day I'm gonna start eating more, let's say, heavy kind of foods. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, when you water fast, the main thing, one of the things you notice, and they say it's toxins coming out, is that your tongue turns white. And I wanted to show you my tongue. It's white. It's white. There's no weird feeling or weird texture of it yet. Other guys who's done this longer, they say that this builds up and you need to scrub it off. This is not the situation with me. I don't even feel a different texture. And I don't think I would be able to scrub my tongue. I even now, just putting my tongue out, I get gag reflex. I don't know. I've always had this. I hate dentists as well. So I think that was it. I said everything. If you have any questions, if you want to give me any comments, I am still thinking about taking it longer, but I don't want to risk me being weaker than normal and not being able to drive and go to work and like not be as productive as I want at work. So this is another factor you need to take into consideration if you're going into the water fast. First of all, each person is different. There are people who said the first 3 days were very hard and they had to do a lot of effort to do it. That wasn't the case for me, and I wouldn't have done it if that was the case. There are people who will get weaker faster than me. I was taking measurements. I'm actually going to weigh myself tomorrow, and I'm going to make another video tomorrow and give you the measurements and all that, or at least just give you the weight I've lost. Although I'm sure I'm going to put the weight back quite fast, because I didn't do this for the weight, and you shouldn't do it for the weight. This is not for weight loss. This is a detoxifying thing, and you're not going to keep the weight you lost. You're not going to keep your weight. It's going to come back because you're starting normally. If you want to lose weight, go do some crazy exercise like calisthenics and all that. That's the best thing. That's what I've experienced, calisthenics, and combining it with a bit of a parkour and free running, that makes the best result, at least in my experience. And I understand that each person is different. You need to find what works for you. So I'm gonna make a video with that tomorrow, showing you, well, explaining to you. I was also measuring my blood sugar, which was a bit on the low side. One day was 67, today was 71, which is on a bit of the lower side. But I don't know. And today I felt weaker than other days, so I'm not sure if that plays that much of a role. Blood pressure was normal, 113 with 80 something, so that was quite normal. That's it. Drop me any comments or questions you have. Thank you. See you soon.